Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday morning. Today I have Eric Benet. The song is called Sunshine. Sunshine on a Saturday morning. Good morning. If you're there, shout out good morning to me. Hello. Happy Saturday. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 o'clock on the West Coast. But it's still morning in the Americas, so let's say good morning. Hi, hello. Good morning to you. I'm outside today. Okay, today's topic on Live Free TV with Noni on this Saturday, sunshiny Saturday morning is the law of attraction. So, of my live audience members, how many of you have heard of the law of attraction? Trying to figure out. There we go. Okay, I couldn't see my comments. So, good morning, Vic. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Errol. Hi, Brian. Okay, so here we go. I couldn't even see the comments. I'm thinking nobody's even out there. So how many of you have heard of the law of attraction? The law of attraction. How many of you have heard of that? Raise your hand. Say hello in the audience. Many of you have heard of the law of attraction. The purpose of today's show is not to tell you, this is what it is and this is how it, this is what happens. But it's just to offer, as usual, my opinion and to share with you my perspective. Okay, Michael says he hasn't heard of it. To share with you my perspective on the law of attraction and what I think is missing a lot of the times when we talk about the law of attraction. So many of you may have more than a couple. I think it was back in 2006 or 7 when the movie The Secret first came out. And so it was this movie that had all of these different motivational and inspirational speakers and teachers and healers and popular authors. And they were all talking about this idea that the secret was this principle of the law of attraction. And that basically the message was communicated, whatever you think about, you'll get. And so, it took a whole hour or an hour and a half for the movie. They said a lot more than that. But that's like the basic principle that most people walked away with. They thought, oh, well, we're discovering this new way of thinking. And so if I just imagine $1 million, because I'm thinking about it, it's going to pop up in my bank account, right? So what are we now? We're in now 2016. And so 10 years later, it seems like many people are struggling with this concept, and they're struggling with the fact that, well, wait a minute, I've been thinking all of these good things. Why don't I see them yet? Maybe this law of attraction thing doesn't really work, right? How many of you have ever maybe questioned, does this stuff even really work? What are these people talking about? Is this some airy-fairy stuff? Well, again, this is just a perspective that I'm offering. So outside of the basic premise that whatever you think about is what you will get, which is the most general understanding of the law of attraction, there are some other steps that go along with it. And number one is the understanding that it's not that the law of attraction is not working. The law of attraction is one of many laws of the universe. These are more energetic or etheric or even sometimes spiritual laws. This is just one of them. But it's not that it's not working. The law of attraction is always working. Basically, the law of attraction is like attracts like. Like attracts like. Period, point blank. That's the very first premise of it. So when they tried to explain that, well, whatever you think about, you'll get, what they were explaining was, well, whatever thoughts that you're having, good or bad, you will begin to attract those things into your life because like attracts like. So people think that it's only meant for the good things. Well, I'm thinking about a good thing. I'm thinking about $1 million. I'm thinking about the love of my life. I'm thinking about a new home or a new car. So if those things don't come, then it's not working. And that's not the truth. At all times, we are always attracting what we are thinking about at all times, the good and the bad. Have you ever noticed when you wake up in the morning and you wake up, you're in a grumpy mood, then you go into, you're getting ready, you stub your toe, you get in your car, something's going wrong with your car, you need gas, you're late to work. You get to work and you're just ruminating over all of these thoughts. Man, my morning sucks. This is sucked all morning long. Then you get to work, you run into the annoying coworker or the a-hole boss, right? And then you just keep saying and thinking how bad this day is. And then what ends up happening? Usually more unfortunate, challenging things keep happening to you. That's really kind of the basic idea, is that it's not just about what's good and I thought this good thing this one time and it should come to me. It is what is your pattern of thoughts, whether they are good or bad. So here we go. I'm going to offer a couple of steps to, good morning, Tim. Offer a couple of steps to think about with the law of attraction. Okay. Number one, everybody's walking around with something that they want, right? We're all walking around with something that we want. We're thinking I want to have a good day. We're thinking I want to make more money. We're thinking that I want to enjoy my time. I want to spend my time in a valuable way. I want to be around good people. Most people are thinking thoughts like that. So basically, step one is that it's the simple acknowledgement that we are always asking for something. We would like to think that we're always asking for good things, but good morning, Lincoln. We are, in fact, always asking for something, whether that is good or bad, however you want to term it. So after you ask for something, hey, Douglas, hi, Sophia, hi, Omatola. After you ask for something, here's where the big difference comes in the more general way people think about the law of attraction and what actually helps you to attract things faster, okay? Is that you think about something, and if you're just on a constant pattern of thinking about those things, thinking about those things, thinking about those things, thinking about those things, you're setting into motion that thought that you put out there, and you begin to attract it back. Well, one thing that can happen is you can get distracted over here and you get off of that pattern, and so therefore what was coming to you is taking that much longer. But the true difference is how you feel about the thought. This is one of the biggest differences that many people kind of miss when they're thinking about the law of attraction. It's what you feel about the thought. It's do you really see it? Can you feel it? Can you imagine it? So let's put it like this. Let me just give you an example. Okay, here I am, I'm Noni. I'm thinking that I want $1 million. But on the inside, I have some beliefs, some deep down thoughts and feelings that I'm not worthy of $1 million. That could be thought number one. So what happens is, even though on the conscious level, I'm thinking I want $1 million, on the heart level, on the soul level, on the subconscious level, I'm walking around with years and years of thoughts and beliefs that I'm not worth $1 million, or that there's no way to get $1 million. So do you think you're going to get $1 million if you have those subconscious or deep or soul level feelings? It's not going to come to you. It's not going to come to you. Let's do another example. Okay, I want a great relationship. I'm going to think and I'm going to attract through law of attraction. I'm just going to think about having a great relationship, right? But if on the soul level, on the feeling level, down in your heart, okay, in your feeling body, outside of your mind, if in your feeling body you feel that you always get betrayed in relationships, if you feel that there are no good men or women out there, if you feel like men always lie, these little cliche things that we say flip of the tongue, but that we actually believe. Well, there's another example of where you're thinking one thing, but on the deep feeling and soul level, you really believe something else. And so therefore, is that great loving relationship going to come to you? No, it's not. Or you may attract a relationship, but because you believe down deep inside that you always get betrayed, that people always lie, that nobody's honest, you might attract a relationship, but you're going to attract what you believe, not just what you think. Okay? So for whoever's out there with me so far, does this make sense? That you can think one thing and call that the law of attraction, but the most important difference is, what do you feel on the inside? What have you believed over time? Because again, a belief, as I've defined it in my book and otherwise, a belief is a thought that you've been thinking, but that you emotionalize over time. And so it kind of becomes concrete in your entire holistic self. So Lincoln says, so that means it is more than words having power. Right. The words have the most power based on the belief from which the words come from. You see what I'm saying? I can sit here and say all day, I can sit outside all day long and say, I have $1 million, I have $1 million, I have $1 million. I can say it from 11 o'clock a.m. until 11 o'clock p.m. But just because I'm saying those words, it's the belief from which they come from. If I believe making money is hard, if I believe a certain race is not able to make as much money as somebody else, if I believe my options are limited, if I believe I can only make $1 million by having a job, which when you only have, one job, it's a little hard to earn 1 million just from that income, right? So I can sit here from 11 to 11 and say that all day long. But if I don't believe it, the words are just simply empty. Here's another perspective. Again, I try to remain respectful of whether people call the infinite power God, Allah, Olodumare, the source, the all, whatever you want to call it. Here's another perspective, is that this power is not it's not so simple to respond to words. The power is responding to us as our own powerful beings, as what we truly are walking around believing and feeling about ourselves. The power is not believing a word. I'm speaking a word, and so then I expect the universe to respond just to those words. No, the universe is responding to what you're putting out there from within. This is why, folks, with everything I come to you all talking about, I'm first pointing you inside first. What's coming from within before you try to do everything without. Because like attracts like, as above, so below, which means whatever you want to see without comes from within. Ooh, okay? So, Lincoln, you're welcome. You said, thank you for breaking that down. I'm trying to, take these concepts that are just floating around out here that we all confuse the hell out of ourselves about. We read this, we read that, we listen to this person, and just trying to make it more simple so that we don't have to stress out about this stuff and feel guilty. Oh, the law of attraction is not working. I don't know. I must be stupid. It's not working for me. No, folks, it's not that. You aren't stupid. You are a smart and powerful being just because there is no reason to explain why you are powerful. There is no reason to explain why you are valuable. You are just because you are. So you don't have to go and get confused by all of these outside things that are going on, these concepts that are floating around. Break it down to the very most simplest perspective that you can that works for you. That's what I'm offering today. So we put out a desire. We can think about it as much as we want, but the difference comes from how do we feel about it. Okay? Then once over a period of time, it could be a day, it could be an hour that you shift your feelings about something. It could take you 6 weeks to shift your feeling about something. But once you believe it and then you speak from that point, Then another key step in this process is, do you expect that it will happen? Okay, I desire something. I not only think about it and speak about it, but I feel that it is true. Now I walk around expecting it. Okay, you know how they have those sayings like, you always find what you're looking for? Now, I always heard that saying about, if you're snooping around in your significant other stuff, don't be looking that hard because you're going to find what you're looking for. But that's true even with the law of attraction. You will find what you're looking for. So if you're looking for people to be, unjust to you, you will attract that because you believe that that's like the state of the world that we're in. If you believe that you are deserving and worthy of good things to come into your life and you expect to see it, then you will see that more often. Okay? You will see that. When if you leave your house and it's like, I just expect good things to happen to me. I don't know what the hell's going to happen to me today, but I just expect good things to happen. It's not that you're saying nothing bad will happen, but you will be able to shift your thinking to say, I know that I'm always attracting to me. And so even though something is happening that could appear bad, because I expect that things will always be good that are happening to me, I can now see the good in it instead of seeing only the bad. That's another shift in perspective with this whole law of attraction thing. The perceived bad things are always going to be here. It's a law of the universe. There is a balance in this world. There is good and bad. There is positive and negative. There's the day and the night. So it's not that we're saying, well, to me, the law of attraction should mean nothing bad happens. No, but because you know from within that you believe you are worthy, you believe you are powerful, you believe that you are supposed to have good things, even when you see something bad, you can find the good in it. Okay? You can still find the good in it. This is where, I talk about like, how can we just decrease our suffering? People are just suffering because they're stressed out. One way that you can decrease your suffering is not to say, I want to ignore the bad things, like I just don't want to see them, or that the law of attraction tells me that I shouldn't see them. It's that I can look at a world of chaos. I can look at a world that some call unjust, and that some call unfair, and some call bad. But I'm looking at it first from within, from my God power within, so that I can say, this situation sucks. However, I'm thinking and speaking and feeling from a different perspective. So now I can walk into a situation offering a solution instead of focusing on the problem all the time. See, this conversation goes many ways. I started by trying to be really simple about the law of attraction. You ask, you think, you speak, and you have to feel. Then you expect that you will receive it. But this goes much deeper, folks. What is everybody talking about this week? They're talking about the unjust killings and the elections and all of these things that, if you focus, I gotta move because this sun's about to beat down on this big forehead of mine. That if you focus on those things, it's not about like don't focus on them, but what perspective are you focusing on them from? Okay, understand the law of attraction is always happening. But if you choose to believe from within that you're not worthy of a solution, that your community is not worthy of a solution, that your children are not worthy of good things happening to them, that your community is not worthy of coming together, then all you will see is that opposite perspective. But if you approach it from the perspective I'm speaking of, I understand the law of attraction is always working. I'm always putting out what I think should be coming to me. So let me try to adjust from within. Who do I think I am? Do I really understand that I have power? Do I want to put, what belief are those words coming from? Okay? So we can look around and we see a lot of loud people out here today, and they're saying all these words and they appear to be sometimes even the freedom fighters. But Do you ever wonder sometimes why those solutions don't come forth from those people? Because what do they actually believe from the inside? They may have felt that they have a platform now, and I'm not calling any names. There's not even anybody I'm actually thinking about. I'm just thinking about those people who are just very, very loud when it comes to what the problem is. But the way that I see it, if they're walking around empowered from within, and that they believe that they are supposed to attract solutions through the law of attraction, then that's what would be coming forth once they start speaking and using their platform. I did not even mean to go this deep. It's a sunny Saturday morning, and I just meant to stop by and talk to y'all for a little bit about the law of attraction and help to make it less confusing, but I can't help it. This stuff is just coming out right now. But this is how we can take these concepts and actually apply them to our lives. Actually, not just a bunch of fluff. Oh, it's the law of attraction. I made $500 today. That's the law of attraction. No, the law of attraction is always working. It's always working. And so you have to really go within and understand, what beliefs do I have? What feelings do I have about the words that I'm speaking? It's not just the words, it's the feelings and the beliefs behind them. And then what do you expect to happen? Because what you expect is what you're always going to see. Whew. Hey Sharifa, hi Laura. Got to calm myself down. Got my heart rate pumping from this discussion. So let me hear back from you all, from you all about, what was your perception about the law of attraction when you first heard it? What's your understanding of it? Is anything I'm saying making any sense? And is it helping you perhaps to shift your perspective about the fact that it's not just the words? You can't just go out there saying a bunch of words. It's what is coming from within. What's the belief powering those words? Okay? So let me hear. Errol, you said thanks for the pearls. You're welcome. Anybody have any comments about this? And for those that are just joining, like Sharifa and Laura, you're going to have to go back to the beginning, because we done broke it down today. So go back to the beginning once this is over to hear this very simple breakdown of the law of attraction, and then we see how it can be applied to simple situations and complex situations. So let's see, what else did I want to cover? Expecting, receiving. Oh, here's another point I wanted to share, is that whole idea of you will see what you believe. It's not the idea of, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. We got to get rid of those cliche sayings that we've been taught. It is, you will see whatever you believe. Okay? So here's two different situations. One man is walking down the street. He's walking down the street. He's believing he's unworthy. He's had a really, crappy morning. Everywhere he goes, because of the thoughts he believes down deep inside, he's just completely distracted with this world that is so bad. He's walking around and this world is so bad and I can't stand it. And look at all these white people, black people, Spanish people, look at all this injustice. Okay. So he walks and my life is so unfair. I really need money. I really need money to pay my bills. But because I believe that I will always be held down, and so he has all of these thoughts going on, and he needs $100. He just needs $100, but he's got all these thoughts walking around. And so as he walks, he's completely in this belief system, in this pattern, and there's a $100 bill right on the street, and he passes right by it because he's so full of his own feelings of being disempowered. Then you have the person who woke up, still same person, same perspective. He needs $100, but he wakes up from a different idea completely. He wakes up saying, I know the law of attraction is always working. I have a desire. I'm not going to just say empty words. I'm going to really, start my day going from within, and I expect good things to happen. The good things that I say I want to happen, I expect, and I believe they're going to happen. He's more open. He's enjoying life. He's seeing bad. He's seeing injustice, of course. He's not ignoring it, but he's also open to seeing the solutions however they come. So he's then able to have his eyes open truly and see the $100 bill lying on the ground, the exact $100 that he needed for whatever problem he had. He saw the solution because he expected the solution. Whereas the person who does not expect solutions won't ever see the solution because he's so focused on the problems that he believes down deep inside that he deserves. Here's my last thing. This is something that I personally do when it comes to, okay, I know law of attraction is always working. How can I get it to work best for me? So this is what I don't even care if I sound silly because it works for me. Think back to when you were 5, 8, even 10 maybe, but usually 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And you played games and you pretended, right? And you went into this complete world of imagination. Okay, today I am the teacher and y'all are the students and I'm going to tell y'all what to do, right? Me, Noni, 41 years old, I still do the same thing. Because sometimes if there's a goal that I have, let's say I have a goal to make $10,000 in 1 month, right? I can sit here and say all day, I'm gonna make $10,000 in 1 month. But if I don't really believe it, if I can't wrap my mind around it, then it's not going to happen. I go back just like the 5-year-old and I pretend, I go into my imagination and I add the feeling to it so that I can get used to it and I can continue to use the law of attraction from the perspective that I actually believe what I'm talking about. So I encourage you all to do that. So here's an example. Everybody knows I love to talk. I love to speak. I'm a speaker. And so I do truly imagine myself. I want one day to be speaking on a stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. So do you know what I do at least once a week? I have my pretend microphone. I'm at home or even outside back here, and I put myself not only in terms of my thoughts and my words, but I feel, what would that feel like? I play music, I announce myself on stage, I walk out to the stage, and I literally, like a little kid, will see thousands of people out in my audience. And so what I'm doing is, instead of just sitting and thinking, I want to speak to 10,000 people, I want to speak to 10,000 people, I want to speak to 10,000 people, I put myself in a position to truly act it out and act it out to the point where I'm so comfortable with it that over time I believe it for real. Okay? Many of us talk about we want to be rich, but we're still hung up on these ideas that money is the root of all evil, that money is hard to come by. So if you want to really get over that belief, whether you got $4 bills or you have 4 $100 bills, practice holding the money. Practice pretending like you're depositing the money in the bank or you're going to withdraw the money in the bank. Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Does it make you feel like you have too much attention on you if you were to go and withdraw $400 from the bank? Well, then you know, oh my God, that's why these thoughts aren't working, because I'm uncomfortable with that idea. Make it bigger. Would you be uncomfortable with $1,000 in your wallet? If you had $1,000 in your wallet with nothing to do with it, would that make you uncomfortable? If it does, that's a trigger to let you know that it's not just those thoughts, it's something that you believe, and you can go and explore, well, what is that belief? Go bigger, go bigger, go bigger. Write down, deposit $1 million. If money is your thing, does it make you feel uncomfortable? Then you know you have a belief that's working against you, and so therefore the law of attraction is still working, but it's bringing you what you believe. And so, yeah, you can take that suggestion and you can begin to act out the things that you want. I mean, many of you have so many dreams. You have so many things you want to do. But if you're not already doing them or on the path to doing them, it's not that the law of attraction is not working. It's that something on the inside of you is blocking it. And so if you act it out, over time, you can begin to understand and realize what is it that's like blocking me on the inside. So Laura, Laura says, I imagine PCH ringing my doorbell all the time. I expect them to ring my doorbell. Exactly. So take it a step further. Hear the doorbell in your mind, open the door, and completely act out that situation. Act out, oh my God, you guys are really here. Write it, like draw the check on a piece of paper and pretend somebody's handing you that check. And then how would you feel? Okay, oh, let's go deep. Let me go deep just real quick. Let me go deep real quick with Laura's example, okay? If you begin to act out that example, that situation as an example, right? Oh my God, it'd be so great. I'm acting it out. I'm receiving the check. The check says $1 million on my check. They've delivered it to me at my door. And then I go sit down and I go call my family, and everybody in my family starts asking me to borrow money. And then I begin to see that, you know, oh my God, friends that I trusted and my family members are acting a straight fool. And so that makes me feel uncomfortable, and I don't want that to happen. So, I wonder if that's a belief that I have, that if I suddenly, overnight, become a millionaire, will I still have the same friends? Will my family members still treat me the same? Will I be hunted down? Will all the cousins, Ray and them, and Bill and them, start coming to the house to ask me for money? That's deep, folks. Is that if you're thinking down deep inside that it would be difficult to be an overnight millionaire, it might be challenging, it might be frustrating to all of a sudden have money, that could be the very blocking you from that opportunity from happening to you. Ooh, does that make sense? Does that make sense? A personal story is I had to realize that about myself. I want to be famous. I want to be on TV. I want to do all of these things. But until I got strong enough to realize that, hey, I might lose some friends along the way, and I'm okay with that, those opportunities did not start presenting themselves to me. They really didn't. Because I wanted to stay in the same circle. I wanted to be looked at the same. Well, if you have a great goal about your life, your circle will not remain the same. And only when you get comfortable with that your life will change, your circle will change, your family might think differently about you if you accomplish those goals. If you are, let's say you're 100 pounds overweight, and you may not even realize that your deepest fear is that if you lost the 100 pounds, that then your circle of friends would change. Then your activities would change. Then what you do on Friday nights is going to change. You might be scared to death of that change, and that's why it's not happening. This all goes back to law of attraction. And in my opinion, it goes back to whatever you can find in the Bible, what you can find in the Quran, what you can find in Odu, what you can find in anything. It goes back to each one of these traditions and practices and everything. It goes back to all of that. The power within is what attracts what comes without. I have really, oh my God, I have really talked much longer, but it seems like, you know, you all are hearing some different perspectives, and that, you know, you're understanding you can take it one step further, take it further than thinking. Then take it to the words, but not just the words. What belief is powering the words? Then not just that belief. Are you expecting it? Then can you take it a step further and act it out and see what comes up for you? Okay. So I think I'm going to end it there. It's Saturday, and what are you all? You're welcome, Laura. And Omatola, great. You're visualizing it right now. Great, great, great. And it's not even that it's, you know, like, it's not even that it's Noni making you understand. We all know this. We all have intuition. We all have divine guidance. It's, can you hear it or not? Can you feel it or not? So as we're listening to different people who call themselves teachers and people who call themselves leaders and call themselves healers, I don't even want to call myself those things anymore. I'm just a chick who's talking. But the point is that they're no smarter than you are. They're no more advanced than you are. You are also the master. you are also divinely guided. You also have everything that you need to know already within. It's just the fact of, are you listening? Are you believing, what you say that you want? That's all that it is. So it's been fun. What are you all doing today? It's Saturday. What are you all doing today? Besides acting out your publishing clearinghouse at your door, or besides acting out whatever your goal is, what are some things you all are getting into today? I think there's like a lag. Like I can't see what you guys say until 30 seconds after you say it. Okay, so Lincoln is saying that makes sense. Thanks for breaking it down. I didn't know that it was the law of attraction as well as other spiritual beliefs. Yes, it's all spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything is coming from within. And whatever text you look in, whatever tradition you follow, somewhere in there are a lot of these principles. So, okay. Well, I hope that you all enjoy your Saturday. Laura's taking her son to an amusement park. Cool. It's starting to get loud from the bugs, or whatever those are, grasshoppers. I hope that you all enjoy your Saturday. And for those that are in Atlanta and in my little scene, I'm sure I'll see you either at today's event or at tonight's event. But in the meantime, I pray that you have a good day, and that these concepts can help you to understand why some of that stuff ain't coming because you don't believe it. Okay, so I'm going to sign off. I'll see you again on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Until then, live well. Peace.